Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Alexis, and on this channel I cover viral topics. I talk about important lessons and takeaways that I get from viral topics. This video right here, it's gonna be a repost of the very viral story that have been going on social media as of lately. This is about Ebin New York and the two former black female employees that came forward about the mistreatment that they faced while working at Ebin New York. This video right here is specifically about Imani's story. So I have another video which I can link. The other video is a repost of Samiyah's story. Samiyah went into details as to how she got mistreated while working for Ebin New York, and then Imani went ahead and stitched her video and also talked about her experience. There are details that differ from one story to the next, and I really think we all need to pay attention to each story. I have noticed that the story of Imani haven't gotten as much shine as the story of Samiyah. I really wish people would take time to listen to Imani's story as well, because she also have details in there. I know it seemed like they're just talking about the exact same thing, but no, she also have examples and details that I think everybody needs to listen and pay attention to. There's a lot to learn there. So please go ahead and listen to Imani tell her story.
Y'all, she is not lying. I was very quiet on this topic for months. I think it's been about June, August, September, October, November. I don't know. It's probably been like a year since I left Ebin, New York. But I worked with that company for 9 months. I went in September of 2022, and I ended up leaving I got fired, wrongfully fired, June of 2023. So I started out there as a beauty advisor, and the role was pretty much just to come in, test products, um, see what products work. We also did some marketing where we would like look at some of the packaging to say like, okay, this will work, this won't work. Colors, font, and stuff like that on the packaging. That's a lot of stuff that we would do. And every day, our day-to-day thing was just to sit there and test products, right? So I came in, it was part-time. We were contracted, so you don't have any benefits or anything like that. You just come in, do your work, and leave pretty much. So when I got there for my interview process, I seen also, I don't know if I seen it on LinkedIn or Indeed, but I seen the job opening. I applied, I came, and pretty much when I walked in, it was giving jump scare because there was nothing but a bunch of Korean people there. So not that it's an issue with working with Korean people because, we work with everybody. But I was very, I don't know, for some reason, I always thought that Ebin was a black owned company. So when I walked in, you can imagine like you walking in and literally everyone is Korean. So I immediately kind of was like, something's a little off here. So I interviewed, they called me back, and they were like, yeah, we want you to start immediately. I met with the HR lady that she's also talking about, and she has a big role in this story. So yeah, HR lady, that's what we're gonna call her. But yeah, so we came in, I did my paperwork and everything, and the first day, my first day of working, um, I went to a show actually. So they were like, "Hey, we're going to New York." Mind you, I live in New York and they're in Jersey. So I traveled all the way to Jersey just for them to tell me that we're going all the way back to New York, for me to go all the way back to Jersey and then go back to New York. Stupid. So, I end up going to this show the first day. If you go back and look at my content, like you can see like I was at shows and all types of stuff. So, that's the proof right there. But if you need any more proof, I got my receipts. So yeah, we went to the show, and then the next day we came in, and the first thing they did was they came up to me and they gave me like a pen and a paper, and they were like, "Hey, we need you to write down like the description of the product, like how to use it, blah blah blah." And I'm like, well, this is my third day out here. I don't know. But nah, let me be serious. So I'm like, what product are you talking about? Because I was only familiar with the wig spray, the lace adhesive spray, the edge control. I didn't even know if they sold makeup, nails, all of that stuff, lashes, until I got to the actual store. I mean the actual like location, and I seen it, and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't even know y'all sold all this stuff. Sorry, I had a burp. So then I am like, how am I supposed to write the description to something that I don't even know, like, and they're like, oh, just write anything because you have a degree in like marketing and PR, so like we know you can do it, just do it. So now I'm sitting here like, but I've been hired as a beauty advisor. Now keep in mind, they always kept saying you have a degree, you have a degree, you have a degree, so they knew I can do it. So pretty much what ends up happening is we're gonna fast forward a little bit where I meet the other black young ladies, because the only black people when I was there in my experience, that was in the office were the beauty advisors. There were no other black women or men in like marketing, and every other place was occupied by a Korean individual, right? So that already was kind of like fishy to me, because I'm like, well, if you know I know how to do marketing, put me in marketing and give me a position in marketing. Like, why? It seems like they just try to keep you very low at this beauty advisor state. So then as time goes on, they began to they begin to come to me and they're like, hey, so what do you like they just ask me questions. What do you use outside of Ebin products? Like, what do you like? What do you think the industry is missing right now? So we're giving ideas and we're like, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. And they're like, okay, cool, 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 cool. And they're just writing all our ideas down. And then they're now taking our ideas and they're developing them, and we're not getting paid for it. So I was like, okay, well, if y'all, me and it was another group of young ladies, we were like, no, we need to be getting paid for our ideas. So there was one lady that was there. I'm gonna name her. I'm gonna call her A. She put me on. A and M. Those are the other two ladies' names. A and M. M had been with the company since like almost day one. Like she'd been there since the longest. So she was putting me on. She was been telling me how like discriminatory they are when it comes to like lunches. So they would buy lunch for everybody every day, and you have the option of getting like a Korean lunch, or you have the option of like ordering off the menu that they give you. And she was telling me how they were not able to order lunch. Like they weren't in the group chat to submit their orders for lunch. So I'm like, y'all not about to be giving lunch to everybody in here and then the black girls can't get lunch. Like, so now we sitting at lunch and we just chilling, or we have to go out and buy lunch and come back while everything else is provided and paid for by everybody else. That's not fair. So I was able to get into the group chat, and I was then able to order my lunch and the girls' lunches. So what I would do is I would send it to them. And I'm like, hey guys, this is the lunch for today. Everybody send me their orders, and I would submit it in by the deadline so that we can eat lunch. So that was one thing that they did exclude us. They had multiple meetings where we would all just be sitting in the office. They would all just get up, go to a meeting, and leave us there. No one would say anything. We would just sit there like, what's going on? Oh, we're having a meeting. Oh, the meetings was in Korean. Like they would not try to, and they try to say, oh, language barrier. And I'm like, I get it. Like if there's a language barrier, but y'all knew how to speak English. Like, get it out. It was a lot of them who knew how to speak English. So I'm like, don't try to language barrier, because y'all were talking English the whole time. And then the minute, something will shift, or y'all was like talking about something that y'all didn't want us to know about, y'all would start talking in Korean. Let's get to the real tea. Let's clock the real tea. So yeah, they would pretty much take our ideas and they would say, we'll give you guys incentives. They offered us $100. They was like, if you have an original idea that we want to use and develop, we'll give you $100. Y'all are making millions of dollars, and you're telling me that you're gonna take my original idea, formulate it, give me $100, and be like, yeah, thanks, good job. I don't get no type of shares in the product being sold. You don't get no type of nothing. It's just a good job, thanks. And then once you give them one idea and they find out that the CEO likes it, oh, then they come badgering you. We need more ideas. We need more ideas. We need more. I'm like, I don't, to the point where one day they had us sitting down. It was like, everybody has to submit 20 ideas. Like almost on like a weekly basis, they was making us submit our ideas and not paying us. Okay. So this is part two of my experience of working at Ebin New York. So in part one, I discussed how they pretty much used us for our ideas, drained us dry for our ideas, and told us that they would give us an $100 incentive if we give them our original ideas for them to produce it and make millions and thousands of dollars off of our idea. And the kicker is, they didn't even give us, they didn't even honor They didn't even honor it, and they would not give us our money when we brought it up to say, hey, you guys said that you would pay us if we gave you these original ideas and we gave you these resources. And because my thing is, we were the only black girls in the company, so the only idea or depiction that they had of black women was us, if you get what I'm saying. So the way that we act, the way that we did certain things, because even when I would like, I'm not a person where if I'm upset, I stay very calm. You know, I know how to articulate myself, and I speak, you know, what I think is wrong in a very professional way. And I have emails still. And y'all, if I want to see the emails, let me know, because I'm telling you, I have all the receipts. I still have all of the notebooks that I wrote all my notes in, my original ideas in. I still have all of that. All of it. So this is not alleged. This is real. There's 2 products that they just developed on, that just went live on their website, that was my original idea that the Lord had put in my mind. And I was like, yeah, this is a good idea. And I was a fool to share that idea with them, because you know what they did? They developed it. And you know who's getting money? They are. I'm not getting no money out of that. And one of the ideas is I'm trying not to get frustrated, y'all. But yeah, they stole my original ideas and they produced it. So outside of that, I also went on multiple brand trips with the brand, and they were very weird when we went on brand trips. We went to New Orleans. It was 4 of us, of the beauty advisors that were black, that we went. And on the brand trip, they were being very weird to us. We went to the restaurant and they were like, oh, you guys have to Uber there and like find your way back to the hotel type of thing, which was very weird because everybody else was Ubering, yes, but they all had company cards. So they all were using the company cards to Uber back and forth. But when it came to us, they was like, no, you guys use your own money, and then we'll pay you back. We'll reimburse you. Keep that in mind. So at the end of dinner, first of all, let's backtrack real quick. We in the middle of New Orleans. That was my first time ever going to New Orleans. I want some gumbo. I want some jambalaya. I want the things. I want a seafood boil. I want to eat. Right? They were like, so the first night we got there, we were excited. We were like, yeah, let's go. You know, I was talking to my roommate that was there. And we were like, yeah, let's go to this restaurant. Let's find some good restaurants to go to Bourbon Street. We were told by one of the girls who was supposed to be like over us or whatever. She was like, yeah, because she's been there longer. So she was like, yeah, oh, did my mic die? I think it did, y'all. Did it die? I hope y'all can still hear me. Yeah, I think it died. Hold on, y'all. So the girl that was supposed to be like, I don't want to say she was our manager, but she was like, you know how you have like cashiers and you have like a lead cashier? Let's say like she was like that. She's like a lead cashier. So she was like, oh, you guys can't do like whatever y'all want to do. Mind you, we're not on company time because we already did what we needed to do. We're off. She was like, no, you guys can't do what you need to do because we have to go to like a company dinner, like a welcome dinner. So I'm like, okay, where we going? They're like, oh, they decided on Korean barbecue. I'm like, I don't want Korean barbecue. We are in New Orleans and you talking about some Korean. And then the thing is, one of the girls that I was with, she had a dietary, you know, she didn't eat pork or whatever. So she's like, nah, I'm not really trying to go because they like, I don't want that. We ain't want that. And we were forced to go. Then when we get there, they was like, oh yeah, all of the beauty advisors, y'all get together and y'all call your own Uber. And they left us outside the restaurant. Left us. I went to the bathroom, came back, and all it was just the beauty advisor standing outside. And they all turned and looked at me and they was like, oh, Imani, you're the only one with Uber and Lyft. Can you Uber us back to the hotel? Huh? And then they're like, oh, no, it's okay. Just save the screenshots and we'll reimburse you. I'm like, why is this not the thing for everybody else? Y'all using company cards to everybody else, but with us, we got to pay out of our own pocket and then y'all reimbursing us. Then at the New Orleans show, y'all, it's so much. I could do a whole video just on that show. At that show, that's when I started to realize that something was very off. First of all, they lied to us about the pay. They told us they were going to pay us a certain amount, which was different from our hourly amount because we were doing something way different. We were interacting with hundreds and thousands of people. We were doing live demos, which we weren't supposed to be doing. They're supposed to hire someone else to do it. And then at the last minute said that they didn't hire them, so they wanted us to do live demos, and they did not want to pay us to do live demonstrations. And we had to do 2. I did 2 live installs on how to, you know, use Ebin products and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Did the whole demo. And the girls was going to buy it. Like, they were standing there watching, and then they were going to buy the products because that's just how it works. And y'all telling me that y'all don't think we deserve compensation? Mind you, I have a background of doing hair, of doing makeup, and you're telling me that my knowledge of what I know is not worth you paying me. And then it was a girl that worked with me who was also, she's worked with celebrities, and she's she does bridal makeup, she does hair and everything, and she's on there. She's like, bro, I've worked for magazines, and y'all trying to tell me that y'all not gonna pay me for the demos? Like, this is insane. So we agreed on a certain amount, and this is why I would say, like, I was very naive at the time, and I was just very excited. Like, I was like, oh, this is my first brand trip, this is my, but you have to be very careful with these people, because these people really be playing games. So we agreed on a certain amount. It was not in writing, it was like a verbal agreement. We were supposed to sign contracts before we went to New Orleans, but they purposely did not give us our contracts. And when we came back, there still never was a contract. They kept saying, we're revising it, we're revising it. It was never a contract, y'all. When we got back and when we seen how much we were getting paid, they were trying to pay us our regular hourly rate as a beauty advisor. What? After we were doing demos, talking to all these people, I'm making content. Mind you, we were also working with another company that they had acquired, and so I'm running between the Ebin booth and the other people's booth. So I'm working for both booths. Then at one time, I had to be the MC because the MC didn't come for the third day. So I had to be an MC. I had to be a sales associate. I had, like, and you're telling me that you're going to pay me the same rate that I've been paying by sitting at the desk and testing products? Absolutely not. So I was like, nah, y'all need to pay me the rest of my money. So we was going back and forth with the lady from HR, because she was supposed to be like the person who was like the bridge between the blacks and the Koreans. Let's just be very honest. That's what it was. Because anytime I have a manager of research of R&D, right? And I would go up to her and talk to her like, hey, I just had a question about this. I had a question about that. And they would be like, don't talk to her. Like, you can't talk to her. I'm like, why can't I talk to her? No, if you have any questions, you gotta go to HR lady, or you have to go to the lady that they were trying to call the lead cashier. Mind you, she was never there. And she would always come to me and ask me what was happening for the day, because she was never there. So now I'm like, there's no representation for black people at that company. Like, they just flat out blackfishing. They want you to think it's a black owned company. They want to use blackface. They want to, because even when we were sitting here at these events, oh, the black girls was front and center, and all the people who were Korean, they were either restocking in the back or they were just checking you out. But the black women was front and center. Okay, guys, so this is part 3 of my experience at working with Ebin New York. So the last episode is crazy. The last part, I was just telling you guys how pretty much our experience with going to the shows where they pretty much put all the black people at the front and the Koreans in the back, because they want to make this illusion of, oh, black people, we're doing all this stuff for black people, and it's creating an illusion of like they're black owned. So my role was a beauty advisor, and once they started to see that I knew how to make content, if you guys ever been on the Ebin New York page, I have done countless videos for them that did very good, very, very good numbers by the grace of God. And I was like constantly proving to them like, okay, I can be a part of the marketing team. So what they did was they sat down with me and they're like, hey, Imani, like, your videos are doing good. We like your content ideas. So what we want to do is we want to offer you this marketing position, but they like, the CEO is in Korea, so he's not coming back for a month. So what we want you to do is we want you to work for a month for free doing this marketing, which is I had to do the marketing in my job as a beauty advisor. And they're like, we want you to do both, and pretty much we want to see like we want to see the growth in the page, and then from there the CEO can come back and decide if he wants to put you in that department. Again, I was very naive, and I was just like, yeah, sure, because at the end of the day, I wanted to make content. Like, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make content. I still want to make content. That's what I want to do. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I worked there Monday through Thursday. I was part-time. And I was contracted, so I didn't have no benefits or nothing like that. Like, so what they did was they split up my time to where Monday and Wednesday I was working as a beauty advisor in my contracted role, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays I was working with the marketing team. So I was in the back making content. Mind you, they lied to me because they're like, oh yeah, when you're making this content, we're like building a studio in the back. I'm not saying a studio had to magically appear overnight, but could a girl get a ring light, something? Like, they were lying to me saying, oh yeah, we have cameras back there that you can use to make the content, blah blah blah. So the first day that I was ready to make the content, there's no camera. I'm like, where's the camera? We don't have no camera. Hmm? Hmm? The girls is like, what are you talking about? So I'm like, what? So now they're like, oh yeah, you got to make the content, but I have my own camera. I have a Sony ZV-1. Yeah, you got to make the content on your own camera. I had to use my own SD cards. I had to use my own lighting. So now imagine me lugging this stuff from New York to Jersey. And mind you, at the time, I'm not driving. So I'm getting on the train and I'm getting on the New Jersey bus to go over there. And I'm lugging all this stuff with me. God forbid if my camera would have fell and broke back there. They would have been like, wow, that's tragic. Like, so now I'm sitting here recording all of it on my own camera. I'm buying more supplies at this point too, because now I had to buy more SD cards, buy more lighting equipment. They're not supplying me with any of this stuff. And then I'm editing these videos on my phone, and they give me this deadline, like, okay, and the video has to be done by like the same day. So they wanted me to come into work, they wanted me to come to work, record the video, edit the video, and submit it to them all in the same day. Now, I know that y'all think that content creation is that easy, but it really is not. A 30-second video, y'all, could take a whole day of production. Like, it's not just 1, 2, 3. No, like, it's a whole day of production. So I'm like, how do y'all expect me to get these videos pumping out so fast? Like, it's just not realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's just wasn't realistic. So, and then again, I'm still on a beauty advisor salary. Now, they had a content creation position that started out at $25. So now I'm like, if y'all want me to do content creation, put me into content creation. Stop having me work these 2 jobs for the pay of one. Like, it's insane. So I finally, I just got tired, and I was just like, I'm not doing this no more. And I just completely stopped making content. Now, at this point, there were new girls that had came into the rotation, because it's just always rotating. Like, people are always getting fired for, like, reasons down to the point, like, oh, we don't like her. We don't like the way she looks. We don't like the way she dressed. Like, just crazy, like, wrongfully firing people. So they pretty much was like, we need you to make content, Imani. And I was like, nah, I'm not making content no more. Y'all not paying me for the content. It's been a month and a half. Y'all said that if y'all seen the growth, which there was growth, that y'all would pay me, and y'all have not. So therefore, I'm going back to my original position. So then there was another contract that was brought to my attention. They're like, oh, we want to give you a promotion. So I'm like, okay, what's the promotion? They're like, we're going to put you in marketing. So I'm like, okay, finally. Like, y'all finally seeing the, the work that I'm putting in. And the videos are doing really good. Me and the other girl that I was working with, like, she would record the videos sometimes for me and stuff like that. Like, y'all see that it's getting up there. Baby, they was like, yeah, so what we want to do is we want to keep you on the same schedule, give you an extra day. You're still part-time. So I wasn't even full-time. Still part-time. And they were like, we want you to, what they say? They was like, we want you to pretty much, I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm thinking, hold on, give me a second. Every meeting that I had with these people, one meeting, they were like, we want you to be a content creator. I had 3 meetings with them. One was, we want you to be a content creator, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, where's the contract for this so that I can look over it, read what the duties are, because when you apply for a job, they give you the job description. So I'm like, give me the job description and everything of what it is, then I can agree to it or not. And the thing that was also getting me is that they kept trying to rush me, like, oh, we need you to hurry up and do it by this date. And I'm like, you can't bring me a position and then just say, like, yeah, we need an answer by, like, the end of the day. No, that's not how it works. Not when I have no paperwork, especially now that I know that y'all operate where y'all sit here and y'all sell people dreams and y'all lie to people in interviews, a lot of people to their face, and then turn around and they say, oh, but there's no writing for that. There's no contract for that. Dude, I don't know where you got that from. I don't know who. And everyone always asks, oh, I don't know who told you that. Everyone's clueless after that. So I'm like, yeah, give me the contract and the job description, and I'll look it over, and blah blah blah. So first meeting, content creator. The second meeting, they were like, yeah, we want you to work with marketing. So I'm like, okay, what would I be doing? They were like, oh, you don't have to make content. You'll be like working with influencers, finding people to do PR packages for, pretty much working with marketing, helping with photo shoots and things like that. So I'm like, so a marketing assistant. That's what y'all want me to do. Yeah, we want you to do that. So we're from content creator to marketing assistant, right? Then it went, I had my last and final meeting with them where they finally was like, yeah, this is what we want you to do. They gave me like this scrapped up contract where pretty much the contract was for me to be a content creator, but they were trying to put me in a box as of like, oh, you can't work with no other companies. Excuse me? And y'all trying to pay me part-time $20 out. It just don't, that don't, yeah, y'all see where I'm going with that. Because no, you playing with me this way. So I'm like, absolutely not. Like, yeah, I want to work with, if a brand reaches out to me and they say, hey, Imani, we want you to work, blah, blah, blah. I want to be able to say, yeah, on a $20 an hour, if y'all wanted an exclusive contract with me, that's like, we talking in the thousands. Like, come on, you cannot put somebody in a box and then just say like, no, we want to pay you, we want to lowball you, and we don't want you to work with anybody else. But yeah, so I denied. The HR lady, she told me, she said, well, Imani, don't worry about it. Like, and mind you, she's singing my praises. She's like, yeah, Imani's really good. She's this, she's this. She's been doing this for the company. She's been doing this. She's been doing this. She's been doing this. To the point where one of the girls was also calling me the face of the company, and I was like, please don't call me the face of the company because y'all not paying me face of the company coins. So she's like, well, if you don't want to do this position, like, don't worry about it, Imani. You could just stay in your beauty advisor position and do the job that you've been doing. So I said, yeah, I sent the email, and I thank God that I did because I have all these emails. So again, if you want me to post it, I'll post them. But I, professionally was like, no, thank you. I respectfully declined. I would like to stay in my position. 2 days later, they fired me. They sent me a termination email. So now I'm like, okay, can I know the grounds of what am I being terminated? Oh no, that's to the discretion of the company. How do you go from getting a promotion from someone singing your praises to now I'm magically fired? Now I'm fired. How? Okay, y'all, so this is gonna be part 4, and then after this, I'm just gonna reply to comments if I have any. But yeah, so they fired me, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just keeping it very like, whatever, it is what it is. Like, I knew it was coming because the other girls who worked with me, I was telling them, now I'm telling my own story, but the other girls who worked with me, they would ask them like, Ebin would ask like, oh, we want you guys to be on set for this photo shoot. They try to make it all glitz and glamour and like, yeah, you guys gonna get exposure. They tell me the same thing with content creation. You're gonna get the exposure. We're gonna tag you, babes. They did not tag me. It was people who knew me that was underneath them comments like, oh, Imani, look, this is Imani, blah, blah, blah. Like, they was not tagging me. Mind you, they had me running. Okay, yes, I missed this part. Y'all, as a beauty advisor, a part of my task when I was working both jobs and getting paid one salary, they had me running the TikTok page, they had me running the Instagram page, they had me running the YouTube page. So I was replying to people, I was liking people's photos when people were mentioning us, oh, you look so good, girl, thanks, girl. Like, I was on there replying to people and doing all of the things. Now, this is before they actually hired another Korean girl. They hired her to do what I was already doing. And then tried to say, oh, yeah, you work with her. Like, you could be her assistant type thing. No. Now, it's no shade to the Korean girl because, we ain't got no beef. Like, we did good work together. Like, I don't have no problems with her. But it was just how shady and shisty that was that y'all had me doing her job and then came in and hired her, gave her the pay, and just tried to say, oh yeah, well, she's gonna run it, but we're just gonna take all your ideas, take all your content. Like, I don't like that. So yeah, after they fired me, I was like, okay, well, because they fired me on a Friday and I don't work on Fridays. So I'm like, well, thank you for your time. I'm gonna come up there on Monday and get my belongings. Because this is another thing. How are you a beauty company? It's aimed, geared at Black women, and they didn't have anything for us to work with. So we're testing products and stuff, and they're like, how do you like this? How do you like that? How you like? And we're like, yo, we need, first of all, we need time to actually see if the product is working. That's the first thing. For two, I'm like, we don't have any of the necessary things that we need to test these things out. We didn't have hot combs. How you a beauty company? We didn't have no hot combs. We didn't have no combs. We didn't have no blow dry. Bro, none of that stuff. I had to sit down. This is the only thing that was like the good thing that came out of me working with marketing. I then became like I want to say like a bridge between the beauty advisors and marketing, and it kind of made us closer because at the time it was like the whole company, everybody is sectioned off, like even in your own little, like, so even when we would go places, it would be like, oh, R&D and beauty advisors stay together, marketing stay together, like it's very cliquey, like it's weird, like they just put people in like their own little cubicles and just be like, yeah, you stick with these people. It's gonna very much stick with the status quo. But yeah, so I became like a bridge to, you know, beauty advisors and marketing. So we began to give marketing ideas like, hey, we want you to do this, or this, you know, Black History. Bro, it was Black History Month, and they was not even gonna do nothing for Black History Month. I had to tell them, I'm like, how y'all aiming y'all company toward Black people, and y'all not even trying to do nothing for Black History Month. So they're like, oh, well, what do you guys think that we should do? What should we do? Like, it's just so dumb. So we ended up making a video, which probably still up on a page, which you're going to see me in it. But it was all the beauty advisors that we spoke about, like how Black women contributed to the beauty industry. But they didn't even want to do that. Like, that's why I'm like, you cannot aim your company toward Black people and not be educated. Like, they were just not educated. Like, they just weren't. And I get it, because like half of them just came straight from Korea, but it's still like, if you're gonna aim it toward these people, us as Black people, at least know a little bit about us. It's that the only thing they knew was that they wanted our coins. That's the only thing that they knew. So yeah, backtrack. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come up there on Monday and get my stuff. So the HR lady who sent me the letter to say like, yeah, she firing me, she was like, yeah, no, you not coming up here. Like, we'll tell you when you could come up here to get your stuff, because again, we didn't have any hot tools. We didn't have none of that stuff. I was bringing that stuff from my house and leaving it at the job because I was like, we need this. Like, so I was even, and I'm like, no. You're not going to tell me when I can come pick up my stuff. Like, I'm coming to pick up my stuff. Like, you cannot fire somebody, and then when I'm saying I'm coming to retrieve my stuff, you tell me, no, we'll let you know when you can come get your... Ma'am, it doesn't work like that, because I work in the beauty industry. So if I have my makeup and my hair stuff there at your company, I need my stuff so I can continue to make bread. Like, you cannot try to hold my stuff hostage. Then what they also did was they would take my stuff, my hot tools that I paid that was out of my own money, and put it in the R&D room, which is a room where they pretty much have a whole bunch of other supplies that we use. So I'm like, now y'all taking my stuff and putting it in with your stuff. Like, no, I need my stuff back. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, I call my daddy and I'm like, Daddy, I need you to drive me up to Jersey so I can go there and get my stuff. And then they were telling me like, we got to turn in your ID. And I'm like, so how am I going to turn in my ID if I can't come up there? That's the first thing. The second thing, I didn't even have an ID, because that's another thing that they excluded us in. They didn't feel like we needed IDs to get access into the building. So another of the beauty advisors had to fight just for us to get access into the building, so that we wouldn't be standing outside knocking on the door looking like kids, like, Daddy, Mommy, let me in the door. Like, we didn't even have access into the building at that point. Like, they were really trying to exclude us. So I walk in very calmly, like I was not, it wasn't no beef or nothing. I walked in and I'm like, I just went straight to get my stuff from where my desk was. Oh, another thing is, we had all designated desks, and what they did was they pushed us out one by one from the office and made us all sit in like this common area, and that's what we had to work at. Because whenever they hired a new Korean person, they would kick us out of our desk and give it to the Korean person. So now all the Black girls was just sitting in the middle of the I would call it like a lobby, but it was just like a meeting area that was just out in the open. We would just all sit there because they took away all of our desks, and we had to like write up reports every day or whatever on like what we did and all this other stuff, and like the things that we reviewed. And we were like, how are we going to do that if we no longer have desks and computers to do that? Like, it did not make any sense. Like, they just disrespected us. treated us like we were disposable. Anytime where, like I said, another Korean person was coming in, they'd be like, yeah, you got to give up your seat because there's a Korean person coming in, and like they got a job here, so you got to go. Like, go sit in the hallway. That's literally what they get. Sit in the hallway. But yeah, so I went up there, I got my belongings, and I was just telling them, I'm like, I don't want y'all to publish any of the ideas that I gave y'all. Like, no. And one of the guys is there, let's call him D. He was like, oh, well, no, you signed a contract to say that we could keep it. And I said, where is it? Email it over to me. Where is it? Oh no, because you're lying. And what they try to do is they try to intimidate you and say like, oh, we got lawyers, so we, like, if you try this, we gonna do this. Babes, it's not, no, it's not giving, no. And then the icing on the cake is the content that I made for them. This is gonna be my last point that I make, y'all. The content that I made for them, I told them, I emailed them, I said, take my videos down off of your page, off of your Instagram, off of your reels on YouTube, off of your TikTok. Take my videos down. You know what they try to say to me? No, that's our they said that's Ebin's content. I said, how's that Ebin's content when it was recorded on my camera, and it was edited by me on my SD card? I'm like, that is not your content. Take myself down. They was trying to argue me down. I said, well, if y'all want to keep it up there, I have a rate. And I sent them my rate, and I said, this is how much I charge to make videos, shorts, blah, 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 for companies. They was like, yeah, we'll give you, I think he said we'll give you $200. It had to be like 13 plus videos that they had of me. And all these videos were doing good, like in the hundreds of thousands. And I'm like, and you try to give me $200 for all of this? That, no. I was like, delete my videos expeditiously. The videos is deleted. I think they got like one more video of me up there. But I was just like, I'm gonna leave it in the Lord's hands. But yeah, guys, don't go work at Ebin. I have not bought an Ebin product since then. All the stuff that I have from them, I just gave it away. I don't like Ebin. No, don't go to Ebin, y'all. Don't use Ebin stuff, I'm telling you. And one last thing that I learned from this experience is make sure that you get everything in writing, and make sure that you keep your receipts. Like, really, don't take these people's word for like, oh, well, because the HR lady comes off very nice and, oh, mamita, da, da, da. And she's not. So just make sure you have everything in writing. And because the same person that she will tell you that they're going to pay you, she'll then turn around and say, nobody told you that. So just be very careful, guys.
And that was her story. For the last part of this video, I wanted to go ahead and include this little clip, this little video that she made answering to somebody asking her why they stayed in the company for so long, even though they were being mistreated. So please go ahead and check out her response.
So I'm seeing a lot of comments of like, if y'all being mistreated, why did y'all stay, type of thing. It's just like in a relationship, like off the back, if you in an abusive relationship, the man is not about to show you who he is at first. Like, he's gonna ease you into it, and then you, like, when you realize it, when you wake up, you're like, oh, okay, no, you're being manipulative, you're manipulating me. So that's pretty much what they were doing. They take a lot of women who have a passion for beauty and makeup and stuff like that, and what they do is they say like, oh yeah, like, we're gonna partner with you. Like, they sell you these dreams, y'all. They sell you dreams. They tell you like, oh, working with us, your name is gonna get out there, you're gonna get the exposure, you can add this to your resume, we're gonna, like, you get connected, and you, like, they're lying. They flat out lie and gaslight you to your face. And then with the whole, someone else commented and said like, well, why were you guys sharing your ideas with them if, like, they were just stealing them? Because we did not know. When we would sit down at a table, it would just be us, all the black girls. We all would just sit down and we'd be bouncing ideas around to each other. Like, oh, they'll be like, oh, let's say they would have like some lashes in front of us, and they'll say like, oh, pick out what lashes y'all like. So we'll pick out the lashes, and then they'll be like, okay, now let's start to name the lashes. And then we'll just throw out random names like, okay, we can name the lash this, we can name the lash that. That's not what I had an issue with, because that was a part of my job, like helping with packaging, helping with names and stuff like that. That's already a product that they already, developed or came up with. The problem was when they would get our feedback, because we would have to write down logs and stuff. They would get our feedback, and then they would take everything that all of our stuff, the R&D team will take everything that all of our notes and present it to the CEO, like kind of like it's theirs, and they'll be like, yeah, so this is what the beauty advisor said, and this is what they feel, and this is what, and the CEO will then decide, okay, well, I want to develop this person had a good idea, this person said this, I want to develop this. Y'all, we were not included in these meetings. A lot of the times when they had these meetings, we weren't even in the office. Like, we were it was like outside of the time where because I think we would go home at like 3 o'clock. They would have these meetings at like 5 o'clock where they would gather all of our notes, present it to the CEO, and then he would say like, oh yeah, I want to move forward with this, and they would not tell us. They kept us in the dark with a lot of stuff. That's why they had the meetings in Korean. That's why when they would say certain things, they would be speaking English and then would start talking Korean, because they wanted us out of the loop, because they didn't want us to know what they were doing. Because when you develop a product, it's not just like you have an idea and then it just pops up. No, it takes months. So the whole time they have us working on other projects, distracting us, like, oh yeah, working on this and this, and then out of the blue they're like, yeah, so the CEO liked this idea, so we're gonna move forward with this. And at that point, they had already reached out to the companies and all this other stuff to actually make it, and they have a mock-up example, and they're giving it to us to test, like, yeah, so we're moving forward with this. So when they did that to me, and they developed the product that I had as an original idea, and they're like, yeah, so he really liked your idea, so I'm like, okay, cool, so now we can move forward with compensation. But they had already had mock-ups, they have already talked to factories, they had already had it, like, they already had the product. And what they did was they had me testing my own product. And they was like, yeah, Imani, tell us exactly how you like it, because we're going to make it exactly how you want it, and blah, blah, and we're going to pay you, and we're going to da-da-da-da-da. And before the product even came out, like I told y'all, I left that company in June of last year. The product is just now coming out. You don't think I told them, like, I don't want y'all developing my ideas, but because y'all didn't compensate me? But they did not care. They still did it. That's what they do. They steal from other companies, they steal from other people, they steal from creators. Like, that's what they do. So it wasn't just like off the back we were being mistreated. When you first come in, they so nice to you. They, oh, no, we're a community, no. Then they invite you to these extravagant, lavish parties where everybody's getting lit, and then that's when they become super nice to you and hugging up on you and treating you so nice, and you feel like, oh wow, well, this is a good work environment. And then, like, you turn around and you go back to work and it's just something different. So it's not like they just off the back did that. I didn't start experiencing that until probably like 5 months into me working. And when I did, I spoke up. And when I spoke up, they fired me.